Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, the show that inspires, educates, and empowers you through life's transitions. And each week on this show, I bring on the coolest, most amazing authors, experts, CEOs, entrepreneurs, life changers, and people who are making a difference in this world. And this week, I am so excited about our show because I have a very special woman on this show as my guest. Her name is Christine Schlansky, and she is what her clients call the queen of the sales success mindset. So we're going to talk a lot about the sales process today, whether it's in business or personal life. Sales is a part of everybody's life. And our theme for the show this week is how to follow your heart to create happiness and success. And Christine is very heart-centered, just like we are here at I Have Today and I Am. And so that's what I love about the synergy of the work that she does and the clients she works with and what I do here and the clients I work with. And I had the privilege of being on Christine's podcast called Heart Sells a short while ago. And now I get the honor of having her on my show. So that's the theme of the show this week, how to follow your heart to create happiness and success. And every week on this show, we set an intention. And the intention is this: I have today to follow my heart to happiness. So if you're writing that down, I have today to follow my heart to happiness. Okay? Because you know what? If it's not fulfilling to you and it's not filling your heart, then it's not worth doing. And you got to figure out what that is, to do something that you're passionate about, which when you hear Christine's story of how she went and reinvented her own life to come out successful on the other side, why she did it, and why she's able to experience the level of success and happiness that she's able to feel right now, it's really going to resonate with you. So get ready for some great ahas and takeaways. And I want to welcome everyone for being here, whether you are here on the live TV show or you're listening to our podcast. Thank you so much. We are nothing without you, and we so appreciate you being here. Okay, so Christine, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much. I am so excited to be here and to have this conversation with you because I love your work. I think it's so super important. And I can't wait to share and to inspire.
Great. All right. Well, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to read your bio to the audience so they get a better understanding of who you are before we get into our interview together. Okay. So Christine is a multi-talented leader in the field of sales success mindset, motivation, and strategies. She works with heart-centered, driven entrepreneurs who love what they do, but they feel very uncomfortable selling. Does that resonate with any of you? I mean, can you relate to that? Christine's experience includes over 12 years in successful selling and closing high-ticket live events in the corporate world as a high producer and sales director, making millions in revenue herself and through the successful sales teams she's built throughout her career. After over 12 years of successful selling into the millions, she ventured out into entrepreneurship and has supported hundreds of entrepreneurs to enjoy sales conversations and to generate more revenue with ease. She shows them how to make sales and sell with ease, grace, and confidence. Christine blends the tangible with the intangible, which I just love. She empowers you to take ownership of your sales journey, to let go of your fear of selling, even over the phone, ensuring successful delivery no matter where you are in your path by being totally authentic and true to your values. She truly believes that sales is love and that everyone can learn how to sell while being authentic and enjoying the journey. Her credo is this: stop just dreaming, act now. I love it. Christine. Okay, so welcome to the show. So nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much. I am so super excited and I just can't wait. I loved your interview on my podcast. You shared such amazing knowledge and, we both think that, we have today, right? We just have different experience. We word it different, but the message is the same. If you don't do it today, when? I'm super excited.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a great conversation. I want to hear your story. And I know we're going to volley really well. And the audience is going to walk away with so many ahas and takeaways of inspiration, of enlightenment, and of understanding how powerful and positive and easier your life can be when you understand this. So, okay. So I'm going to give you the floor. Please share your story with us because everybody's on a journey. Everybody's got their own path. And when you come to the place where you're loving what you do and you're doing what you love, that's something that more and more people need to hear about because they stay stuck out of fear and doubt and insecurity. So I love hearing these mess to success transformation stories. And not even that yours is a mess to success. You were successful. You just wanted more out of it. So, okay. So please share.
I think we all have these moments where we ask ourselves, is that all?
Yeah.
Right. And, some have it a little bit sooner, some take a little bit longer, but I think everybody in their journey, on their path, is going towards this question.
Yes.
And so for me, I did I was good in school, and then, I went to study, and then I got my job. And then I thought what else? I mean, it's kind of cool. I did some nice things on the way. I spent a year in the US as an exchange student. I lived a year in Paris as an au pair, but there must be more. And so that question kept coming back and coming back and coming back. And so I decided I wanted to move to I was living at the time in the Black Forest, a tiny town. I was like, you know what? I'm too young. I need more action. I need more opportunities. And I wanted to move to Berlin. And so I was already a little bit smarter than for the job that I picked before, because I thought, you know what? I'm going to check the company. And when the company aligns, then I'm going to send my resume. I don't want any job. I want a job that's more fulfilling. And where I have, opportunities to grow and to learn new things. So I found that company, I applied, and the person from the sales department called me. And I was like, there's no way. I'm not going to do sales. No. And I'm not going to call strangers on the phone selling them a package. That's definitely not me. Right. But you know what? It was a pretty good salesperson. And they made me believe that, first of all, I could do it and I could actually have fun. So the drive moving to Berlin, right, leaving that other not so fulfilling job where I did not have any more growth potential, was stronger. And so I decided to take the leap of faith and to start in that job. I was sitting in the training, as every new person that starts a new job, they need some training. Right. And I realized pretty fast, well, this is kind of overwhelming. It was exciting as well, but, just calling CEOs, general managers, owners of companies, offering them those high ticket events was a great value, but I've never had done that before. So I worked really, really hard. And you know what, Diane, I was so serious in that job. I mean, saying these high numbers, I didn't smile, I didn't laugh with my clients. I was just dead serious because I guess I was, kind of scared of those numbers myself. And it took me a long while, I would say maybe 3 to 6 months or something, until I actually managed to kind of loosen up a little bit. Yes. I got pretty good results because I worked hard, but, from the enjoying part, it wasn't, like picking up the phone, my hand shook and my body temperature was, I would say, double than normal. And I was nervous and I knew people would, hang up or slam the phone, tell me no. So there was so much I had to learn. Yes. But I was so committed to make it work. And then on that path, I kept getting that question, well, is that all? I mean, is that
Yes.
really what you wanted? Is,
Yes.
is that fulfilling?
Mm.
And it kept coming back. And, I was
So how long did you stay in that with that gnawing thought?
on that nagging thought, that went on for quite a while. So I would say it took me about a year to seriously do something about it.
Okay.
Till the pain became bigger and bigger. And then then I started to Google, like, how do I get my energy back? And I was really looking for ways. And then, these interesting things happen. You go into a bookstore, and I've never checked out the self-help part. And I did. And then, all of a sudden you discover like Louise Hay, Tony Robbins, like names I've never heard before.
Yes.
And, books, like you grab a book and it kind of falls towards you, right?
Totally.
And you think, like, well, maybe I should read this.
Yes.
And then one thing led to another. So I became a coach myself on the way. And then I was able to combine like the coaching piece with the sales piece. And all of a sudden it clicked and I understood I can't manage what people think about me anyway. So why worry all the time?
Yes.
Why not just showing up the way I am? They're going to say no anyway in the sales conversation. But the people that resonate, the people who truly desire what I have to offer, they will say yes.
Yes.
So putting these pieces together was like, aha moment.
This is such an important, I don't mean to interrupt you, but such an important point that we have to touch on, because I've had other sales experts on this series, because sales is such a big part of business. And this is really about, business life relationship. This show is really all encompassing of everything. So when we do focus on business, we do focus a lot on sales, because it is, if you don't have sales, you don't have a business, right? And people have so many blocks with this. And I love what you just said, because it needs to be highlighted. When the alignment is correct, when the matchup is correct, sales is a piece of cake. If it's a struggle, it's not the right fit. And so getting comfortable with those numbers, being okay, like every no gets me closer to a yes, and understanding I just have to be me and offer my services in the most authentic way. And then I will attract the people that it's supposed to resonate with. So this is so great that this is what happened for you as you were going along this path. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
And the interesting thing was, like, afterwards, my life became so much easier. I doubled and tripled my numbers. And I really had fun. I did not have those dragging sales conversations.
Right.
Well, obviously, you never knew what you're going to get yourself into once you dial a number and call a stranger. But, just being open and not attached to the outcome. Whatever happens. You are there. You have an amazing service. And if they're ready and they need it, they will move forward.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Going into that trust piece and knowing that the right people will say yes.
I love that. Could not agree more with that. Yeah. So, okay. So you came to this realization, you started doing the work, the book started falling off the shelf, you were being divinely guided to move in this direction, and you saw the opportunity to take you as a salesperson and you as a coach and become this expert and really help and support people. What was the biggest challenge for you in this bridging from the one to the other?
I think the bridging, the biggest challenge was then deciding that I want to work for myself, that I want to go into business for myself, because, I had accomplished so much. And in that high pressure environment, people don't last that long, right? If they do a couple years or 5 years, it's kind of, but, I lasted over 12. So letting go of all the established relationships was a huge challenge. But then on the other hand, I saw in my coach training that I had like these wonderful people that you connect deeply, because if you go through a year of training with people, you really see them, like the whole variety of their beauty, of their gifts. And we had this one day where we were supposed to learn how to sell our services as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, from my personal perspective, I was the only one that was cool in the room. Everybody
Wow.
was like, yeah, sales. Well, no, and I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to make this kind of offer. And, there was like so much resistance. And I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they all have these wonderful gifts, but if they don't go out, if they don't offer it to the world, they
Yes.
can't serve anyone.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Which the Latin, sales is Latin for service, right? So if you're not out offering your services, you're not helping people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you always give and give and give for free, because so many heart-centered people do that, they do not have the value exchange, the energy exchange, you will turn up like frustrated or burned out, and maybe you need to go back to a 9 to 5. So I saw all these beautiful people and I thought like, wow, what if
Yes.
I could be the solution?
Yes.
So then the question, like, is it all there is, kind of changed, and well, there's more, but how can I make it happen?
Yes. So you took the leap, and how long would you say it took you from the time you leapt out of that career into you were making money as a coach?
Well, I started the business on the side, so
Okay,
I
so you
made money as
transition.
a coach rather fast. So that, like building it up before I actually let go of my pretty good income,
Yeah.
Was important to me. I didn't just, want to say, well, I'm done. I'm just, leaving. I did prepare, because, I wanted to show up from an authentic place and from a place where I would not need the sales. Like often I see that with people, they jump so fast and leave everything behind, and they're not prepared well enough. And then they get to that needy space where they really need the money to pay the rent or to put food on the table. And when you come from this needy place, usually people don't buy from you because
They feel it.
yeah, they feel that something is off.
Yeah.
So, I prepared that journey, and, it takes a while to get really clear what you want to do, how you want to serve, how you want to package. It does take a little bit, and you need to put some thought in it so people get the value that you want to deliver. So yeah, I already made money before I left the job.
Yes, good. So take that advice, people. If you're thinking of making this transition, prepare for it. Start on the side. I'm working with a few clients right now who we're putting those pieces into place and have started them working on their passion-filled, purposeful, new career path while they're still in their existing one. Because of that. So, and you know what else that does? That allows you to build up the confidence as well that, oh gosh, I actually can do this, because so many people struggle with not being able to see, well, I know what I want to do, or I think I know what I want to do, but I'm not quite sure what that looks like and how to do it and how to get there. And many times my philosophy is you just need to start, like, on an evening or a weekend, have a group at your home, or set up a meetup, or start networking, or start like you just have to start, because if you don't know, you've got to get out there and figure it out. So
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
I mean, it's entrepreneurship. There's so many moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
You have to kind of invent your own systems.
You do.
You can get guidance, mentors, coaches, and I had people like in my masterminds that were like, well, Christine, like you support everybody with sales. Why don't you just specialize just on that? And especially the mindset piece, right? Because, everybody can learn a pitch. Like you have to say that, and then you just call people. But
Right.
really backing your whole offer up with your body, with your energy, with every cell in your body, that's the
Yes.
whole thing. And it starts here.
It's all, I'm with you, sister. You know
Yeah.
that it's
I know.
so much about the mindset and our limiting beliefs and our fears and our doubts, fears of rejection or judgment, or, there's a lot of fear around the sales conversations with people feeling like, well, I'm going to say this and you can either validate it or not, or tell me what you think. But I think there's so many fears around them being afraid they're not going to be able to deliver what they're promising. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had that fear at the beginning myself.
Yes.
Because I think when we have that gift or that talent, or we have, studied a certain thing or practice, then for us, it comes easy.
Yes.
It's not hard. So for people, when you say, well, I can do that for you, you feel like, yeah, but don't they know that already?
Yes.
Would that be of value?
Right.
And, because you do the work, you get the feedback.
Right.
So often people are like, wow, I didn't know that. And you see the aha moments they're having, and you think to yourself like, oh, interesting. Well, I'm glad I over-delivered.
Yes.
Because they just didn't know, and I didn't know that they didn't know.
Right.
So the fear of not being able to deliver, most of the time it's going to vanish once you do the work.
Yes. Yes. I agree. And over deliver. And I think you cannot oversimplify things either, because even if they do know it, I hear things again over and over again, and they're just good reminders, because you forget that you know it. So, yes. So I believe that you can't oversimplify, and you can absolutely just, if it's easy to you, don't assume that it's easy to everybody else, because it's not. No two people think alike, right? Yeah. That's part of your unique gifts and makeup that make you so special. So
yeah,
I love this.
Agree.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us how you live the I Have Today way.
Well, my motto, my credo is stop just dreaming, act now. So yes. I'm a pretty good action taker, because I figured, there's not going to be the pizza delivery guy knocking on my door and delivering my dream.
Yes.
Right? I have to do something for that. So every day I do gratitude, and I'm just thankful for the day.
Yes.
And I also ask myself, like, what can I do today that makes an impact? Right? And, obviously when you work on social media, sometimes we go down the rabbit hole and we spend too much time in checking other people's messages. But really asking yourself, okay, what impact can I make? What blog post can I write? What Facebook Live can I do? What podcast interview? What TV show? Like, where can I deliver value? So that at the end of the day, I can, when I brush my teeth before I go to bed, I can really be grateful for having had the opportunity to make an impact.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I wrote that down. You guys, what can I do today to make an impact? Yeah. Ask yourself that question every day. It's so good, because mine is, and I say this to myself a lot, what 10 people's lives can I touch today? Whether I know it or not, but 10. And that's not, that's not a crazy number, but whether it's a text or a phone call or an email or a blog post or a, social media post, like you say, but it just wraps something around it. And then I think in my mind. And so you start out the day being in service of others. I just want to help people today. I want to, like you said, put impact out that way. So I love that you asked that. That's a very valuable way to live the I Have Today way. Keeps you present, keeps you intentional, and keeps you in service. Beautiful. So, all right. Well, I know that you have a gift to offer the audience, but before we get to that, I want to ask you if there's any final piece of advice you'd like to share with everybody.
I would like to add to the 10 people you just mentioned, that the lives you want to touch. And I would love to transfer that to sales. So when I teach people my sales power formula, we go to the power every letter stands for module, but the O is for the opportunity. And it's not just your opportunity in selling. It's like when you allow yourself to give your gifts by making an offer to the perfect person, the person who really needs it. I would love for you to see the opportunity of you not just touching that life, because this person you are, giving to, they might be happier, more fulfilled. They might learn a new skill that you teach them. And please look beyond what happens, the ripple effect, right? Yes. Maybe you help somebody to be happier. So all of a sudden they're happier and they're nicer to their, spouse.
Yes.
And they're nicer to their kids. All of a sudden, stress goes.
Oh, we lost her. There you are, beauty.
I'm back.
Yes, that was very strange. I was just saying, hey, technology, gotta love it. I think the universe is validating what you're saying because they're messing with the electronics.
Probably.
Yeah. So I was piggybacking on what you had said, that you really, when you make an impact on one life, you're really making the impact on so many other lives, because you're touching that person and the ripple effect is affecting everyone else in their world and in their sphere. As energetic beings that we are, it radiates out. So that's awesome. Okay. Well, I know you have a special offer for our clients. For our audience, will you please share it with us?
Yes. So we are starting with a sales mentality makeover masterclass next week. And it's a masterclass where people learn spiritual and practical steps to increase their sales and create true wealth without losing their authenticity. And it's 20 amazing experts from all around the world teaching on sales, mindset, wealth, and money. So it's really, really valuable. It's a free class, and people can join from May 15th.
May 15th. Wonderful. Okay, we will have a link for it in the comments section, but the link is christineschlansky.com/masterclass3. And so that's where you can find it. christineschlansky.com/masterclass3. Okay. Fantastic. Well, it's been so great having you on the show. I can't wait for the day where you and I get to meet in person, because I just love you and your energy and the work that you're doing. And we got to keep lifting each other up and collaborating and supporting each other, because the more you're doing your work and touching the lives and impacting so many people, the more they're impacting the lives of other people. And that's how lasting, positive, permanent change happens. Happiness happens, unconditional love happens, and it gets us closer and closer and closer to world peace. So I just adore you. So well, thank you so much. Well, I will also wanted to make an offer. We're going to put a link for my calendar in the comments section as well, where I'm offering a free breakthrough strategy session where we can talk about wherever you might be stuck in your life. Maybe you're like Christine was, where you're feeling like there's got to be more to my career than this, and I want to do something that fulfills me more. Maybe it's a struggle in your relationships. Maybe it's a struggle with health or your money mindset. Whatever it is, I'm going to give you a complimentary 20-minute session. They're limited, so you have to act now. Don't just daydream, right? Is that what it was? Don't just daydream.
Don't just dream,
Don't just dream, act now. and say yes to yourself, and at least have the conversation. If anything, you will walk away with greater clarity and an understanding for yourself, which is always valuable. But they are limited. So click on the link and schedule a call with me so that we can have this breakthrough for you. So. All right. Well, this is Diane Forster from I Have Today. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you again, Christine. We will see you soon, and we'll see you next time here at I Have Today. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Diane.
All righty. Bye-bye.